Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari. And wow, 2023 was tough, wasn't it? What a crazy year. So many wars, so many tragedies, so much climate catastrophes. Just one after the other, earthquakes, flooding, horrific wars. It was just so much bad news. I mean, I for one know how much hurt I'm processing just because of the Israel-Hamas war. So much hurt, there's so much pain involved in the whole thing. It's like you just have to, just knowing about it, having to deal with that. I know I spent hours just dealing with that just for me just to process those emotions. So it's very hard, and then you have such a whole city is wiped out by earthquake, by flood. Horrific year. Very tough. And so my idea here is to give you 3 yoga techniques to help you deal better with 2024, because I don't mean to be depressive or anything, but I think 2024, it's not going to be like a beautiful year, right, of unicorns and rainbows. It's probably going to just be worse, right? There's not much to think that 2024 is going to be better. Things are getting tough. It's a tough world, and it's getting tougher. Democracy is failing, wars, these dictators taking more power. It's getting really hard. So we have to have these techniques to be able to deal better with the world. So here we go. The first technique is called Pratyahara. Now, Pratyahara is the 5th step of the Ashtanga yoga system. You go yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. So it's the 5th step where you collect your senses, you retract your senses to yourself a little more, so you don't have, your senses aren't out there so much, you bring them in a bit. So of course, I'm not suggesting you completely isolate yourself from the world. I'm not suggesting you become alienated, no, but we definitely have to tune it down. If there's like a little dial there, just dial it down, how much you're in touch with these horrific world events. It's like a natural thing. You're in the kitchen, your hand comes towards something that's hot. What does it do? It retracts. And then you don't burn yourself because it retracts from that hot thing. And then the world's on fire. So if you don't retract a little bit from the world, you're going to burn as well. So you have to collect yourself a little bit, just dial it down. And one suggestion in that regard is just reduce your news content, just reduce the amount of news you digest. Because it's, you don't need to know all that, how many pictures of destroyed neighborhoods and, bleeding children do you need to see? I mean, I don't need to see a single one more. I got it. Okay? I don't want to see it again. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about another building in the Ukraine that's been destroyed. Not that I don't care. I'm aware it's there. That's what I'm saying. I'm aware. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not being alienated. I'm aware it's there. I just don't need to keep having it, so much information. Whole cities wiped out with flood, with earthquake. It's like, okay, I get it. Climate change is here. There's horrific, climate catastrophes going on. I get it. There are wars. I get it. There's going to be step 2. I'm not saying we ignore it, but I definitely don't want to consume so much. So I want to dial that down, reduce my consumption of news. Then, step 2, dana. Dana is a word in Sanskrit for charity. Now, dana is considered one of the 3 basic practices for living a pious life. Very important, dana. And when you look around the world, all these horrible things going on, I mean, what can you actually do? What can you actually do? I mean, I can't do anything to stop wars. I can't do anything to stop, earthquakes and, flooding of whole cities. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I can do a little bit, be more ecological, but there's not much I can do. Basically, I can't do anything. But one thing I can do is dana. So more than ever now, it's time for us to really hold each other's hands and just help out more. In my 7 Dharma system, this is called the universal Dharma and community Dharma. So give charity, help out, right? Maybe you're sitting in your nice house and everything, you get your fridge full of food, and a lot of families have nowhere to live, or maybe they're in a tent, they're starving. So obviously we have to okay, I have to help out. It's your duty, it's our dharma. So more than ever we should help out. But what I recommend is that you create a fixed plan of helping out. Don't be motivated by, tragic news. Because it would be like, oh, tragic news, let's donate. Okay. But now it's just tragic news one after another. So let's just donate without being affected by all that tragic news. Again, I was saying, I don't want to keep seeing pictures of bleeding children and destroyed neighborhoods. Doesn't mean that I don't care. I do care and I want to help. How can I help? I can help with charity. That's all I can do. So I help with charity. Create a plan. I give regularly. I already have a monthly plan. But if you don't have one, have one. If you have one, let's up the game. Let's do more. Let's give more monthly. Because the world, again, is not going to get any better. Right? There's a tendency now, it's going to be a little rough going, for this generation. And we might be this might be rough going for a little while now. I wouldn't be surprised if we have to deal with really crazy news for the next decades. So we have to just let's just help out more. Let's extend our help. Because that's what we can do. So, find out, I like Oxfam, Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders. Create something fixed and keep doing that, a fixed amount. That's the best thing you can do. Another thing you can do is one of the big sources of tragedy in the world, of course, is, climate catastrophes. And so one thing you should do, which kind of is tied in with that, is try to reduce your consumption. Just think twice. Do I really need to buy this thing? I want to change my phone. Do I really need to change my phone now, or can I wait just another 6 months? Just think a little bit. Just put on, I'm not asking you to live in a cardboard box or something, but just put the slight brakes on consumption. Just can I pull this down a bit? And by doing that, you'll have a little more left over. And then you can use a bit of that leftover for a little more charity. So you can be helping the world by consuming less, and you can be helping the world by giving more. That's a nice little package. Okay, now third of all, very important word in yoga spirituality, moksha. Moksha means liberation, and that's the whole point of all yoga, is to get out of here. Just get out. That is the message over and over again. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana. We have to get out. This is a crazy place. You do not want to be here. We're here for completely dumb reasons, and human life is our chance to open our eyes and get out of here. Wake up. We have to wake up. Awakening, spiritual awakening. This is what, so all these terrible news, there could be a nice little alarm going off. Hey, wake up. Spiritual awakening time. You have to get out of here. You have to use this human life to get out. You do not want to reincarnate. Things are bad now. And again, I don't mean to be, it's sounds depressing, but I don't think it's going to get better very quickly, So you don't want to be reincarnating in 30, 40 years. And you don't want to be reincarnating because it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going for a while. If we make it out of it, it's going to be rough going. So get out. Prioritize. And this is the key word here. Prioritize your spiritual awakening. This is the time now to prioritize your spiritual awakening. Start studying, the 3T path, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana, doing your daily practices, your sadhana, yoga sutras. Start getting serious about understanding who you are and how to become enlightened, because you can. You can work in such a way which won't affect the rest of your life. Doesn't mean you have to quit your job or not have a family. No, nothing like that. Arjuna had a big family, he had a very important job, and he was a perfect enlightened soul. So you can follow his path the path of the Bhagavad Gita, the path of enlightened life, and you can have all the stuff in your life. You can have family and community and everything, and you get out at the end. So that's it for today. I wish you a very, well, I wouldn't say a happy 2024 because it's probably going to be a bit rough, but at least a wise and charitable 2024, which you can get in touch with yourself, that you can take your spiritual life a notch higher, and have the rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.